So, this video went viral because obvious reasons. See, 99% of people think the NFL is scripted. I don't think it's scripted, but I think that the NFL refs dictate how games go. And I think they dictate how games, momentum factors, how things continue, how games fall off. I think the refs just, in general, base things on the final spreads of games. And I think they base it on the fact of bias, actually just by word bias, on how they want the game to go, who they want to win. So I think that's actually a real fact in the NFL. I don't think it's scripted, but I think that it is based on, what the ref wants, or what NFL wants, what Vegas wants, right? So that's my cup of tea. Now, this is the Money Mac field goal where they called Orlando Brown offsides, right? And the whole viral clip and why people are upset right now is because this guy right here points out that this judge right here, this line judge, issues false start and then points at Orlando Brown after the play is started. So, for example, right here, you can see before they even start the play, he does this. And then he points at the Orlando Brown once the play starts. So let's go ahead and he does a little false start indication. Hike the ball, and then bam. The Bills guy points at Orlando Brown. Refs goes, oh, nope, that's false start. So I want to debunk this before I get into the comments from Orlando Brown. This does not indicate false start when you are... This does not indicate false start when you are on this before the play starts. So this, by the way, would be false start if it's a penalty, and they call that after they threw the flag. Then they do false start, and they don't do it on the play like this. This means a 7-yard drop back. It means pretty much the center has protection, and it's a 7-yard or deeper drop back. So that's all this means, okay? Just a little debunking there. This does not mean false start before the play is hiked like this. This just means on a kick like this that, yes, it's official. He's in formation. Just a little extra tidbit here. He calls it before they're even set to kick the field goal or the play is going. False start is not before the play goes. The false start is right before the play is snapped. Right now they're setting up, right? So if we look at this guy, right? Okay, so right here, I think actually, no, I might be incorrect there. I think if he moves now, it would be technically false start. But yeah, so I actually incorrectly there. I thought they weren't lined up correctly yet. No, they are lined up, so it would be false start if he were to move right now. But no, this is not false start before the play like that. This means that the center has protection and it's a 7-yard or deeper drop back. So just a little key tip there, but yes, obviously, you watch this back, it does not look like he moves at all. And it's a really bad call, in my opinion. I think it was a call just to, again, like I said, I think the refs wanted to take points off the board, and they were effectively doing that, right? Because I think this game would have gotten out of hand if it becomes a 17-7 game right before halftime. So I think the refs did cheat here to give, take away points from the Bengals. But no, that ref right there doing that was not indication of anything of like, oh, by the way, guys, we're going to call false start. No, that's not how that works. But anyway, though, I just don't see him moving. Like, dude, he does not move at all. He literally does not move at all. I've watched it a million times, and I can never see him actually moving. So they asked him after the game, and, obviously they questioned him about the whole situation. And this way he had to say. Actually, wait. Wrong article. My apologies. Here it is. That was the Brian Callahan article. I haven't watched the film yet, but I definitely felt like I moved, he said. I don't know if the referee saw it, but the defense kind of pointed it out. I don't know if it was enough for them to pointing fingers for the referee to be like, something happened and throw the flag. After Orlando Brown watched that video that we just watched, he said, holy S-word, I didn't move, did I? And no, you did not move, Orlando Brown. In no way did you move. We've watched it a million times on stream, watched it a million times here. You did not move. It was a bad call by the referee to keep the game closer. That's 1000% what happened. And again, like I said, I don't think the NFL is scripted. I don't think so. But I think the game is slanted based on, again, Vegas, how they want the point spread to go. And also, if a game gets out of hand or out of reach, people stop watching. You have to remember, guys, the NFL is an entertainment business, okay? They want people to watch their games, the whole entire game, from start to finish. The more viewers means the more money goes toward the advertisers, which means the more money goes to the NFL. They want you to watch the game the whole entire game. But if the game is at halftime, you know, obviously it ended up being 21-7. If it's 24-7 at halftime, and people already are doubting how good the Bills are, you think people are going to watch the second half of that game? No. So they wanted to try to keep that game close, and with 5 minutes to go, taking a 17-7 lead, they're like, oh, crap, this is going to really hurt our ratings. So they probably thought, you know what? We'll call this here. We won't give the Bengals any points. Then, if hopefully, right? And again, like I said, that's why it's not scripted. The NFL is like, hopefully the Bills goes down the field, score a touchdown, and tie it up. And we go to halftime 14-14, and everyone wants to watch the rest of the game. And we're going to get crazy great views and crazy great money. That's what the NFL, how the NFL, in a way, is scripted in that context. But it's not scripted as in, like, they know what's going to happen or they predict what's going to happen. It's based on little things that they can push one way or another to keep the game interesting. And it's wrong. It is wrong because we could watch that play a million times and no, he did not jump. He did not move. Those were critical, and they were critical because it took points off the board. But I do not believe that was a false start in any way. I think that was a bad call. That was to keep the game closer. Kappa, as he said right here, he's talking about Kappa also had a false start early in the game. It was his first time in 76 games. A 76-game career, he drew 2 flags. Kappa's a guy that loves his job. Remember, his teammates loves the game and always does his job, Brown said. It never sits right with you when you're the guy drawing the false start or holding, but it's part of the game. And it is a part of the game, but it's a part of the game that's ugly when, you know, you look back and you can't see why the flag was called, right? And listen, Roger Goodell said it himself. He said it best, that there's a million calls called over the year of football, and that 10%, which is 100,000 calls, will be bad calls. Will be calls that you look at and you say, that was an incorrect call, that was not good, you know, that didn't make sense, should not have been called. And yes, that is just human nature, right? No human is perfect and will ever get stuff perfect. But this is why, again, there's accountability that needs to be taken. There's, you know, situations where they need to start getting this correct and figuring it out. And we have all the technology in the world. Listen, if this was 2000 still, right, and you're like, well, we don't have the technology to do it. We have the technology to make sure this is correct. We can make full-time referees. We can do things to make sure this doesn't happen anymore. But the problem is the NFL does not want to take accountability, 1. And 2, I do believe it's slated and biased based on ratings. And I think that's really the problem. Because if the NFL is doing it based on ratings and kind of pushing it in some, you know, different type of narrative ways, you're never going to get it fixed. You're never going to have a correct system because it's corrupt. That is a corrupt system, how that works. So it is what it is at the end of the day. You know, I still love football. I will still watch football every single weekend no matter what, and I will still enjoy my Cincinnati Bengals. But at the end of the day, you know, this is why some flags, you know, you kind of just got to let go because it's like, even if you look at it and you know, like in your heart of heart, that that's not a flag, that is a bad call, it is what it is. As Goodell said, 100,000 of those are going to be bad. And this is one of those 100,000 called in the year that were all free. Very freaking awful. Sorry. I'll see you guys next one.